Have you ever baked a warm loaf, only to see it get hard like a rock or grow mold in just days? Or bought expensive fancy sourdough and felt like it was missing something, like half a story? That's the sign of lost knowledge. The main idea is that old bakers protected like treasures. If you've ever hated the bread full of chemicals on store shelves or the kind that spoils too fast, hit that like button. It tells the system to share this with others who want real food. Now, sit by the fire as we uncover what history is hidden. First story, Maslin bread, the loyal friend that never left you. In busy markets of Old England, where sellers argued over grain bags under cloudy skies, people didn't pick between pure wheat or simple rye. They mixed them like partners in a big adventure. Mixing wasn't just because of short supplies. It was smart science, making bread better in lasting power, taste, and value. Picture a baker in a straw roof house, mixing wheat and rye to match the seasons, maybe 60 wheat to 40 rye in good summers, or equal parts when times got hard. The magic happened inside. Wheat's sticky part rose like a hero, giving shape and height. Rye's helpers kept it moist for weeks and fought off mold. Together, they made bread that today's experts are just starting to praise. Remember the 2018 study from Helsinki University? They remade Maslin recipes and saw the mixes stayed fresh 40% longer than plain wheat and stopped mold 3 times better than modern whole grain. Plus, a hidden gift, a full set of building blocks for the body, making stronger people from basic slices. These bakers didn't need science books. They learned from their families, knowing a small family could survive winter on Maslin and stored veggies. While rich people ate white wheat that dried out fast, regular folks lived well on this strong helper. For people like us, following our great-grandfathers who worked the land, this is legendary bread, thick like a soldier's shield, filling like a story by the fire, made to power long days. Think of a farmer stopping in plowed fields, biting into a piece that stays soft from morning to night. Today's bakers go after light wheat loaves that cost a lot but go stale by evening. But old masters made cheap mixes that lasted, keeping the country strong. Not basic stuff, but smart creations. If you feel like it, try in your kitchen, mix equal flours next time you bake, and taste the old strength. Second story, trencher bread, the plate you can eat that made meals complete. Step into a big hall full of noise from a medieval feast. Torches make shadows on stone walls as helpers carry plates of meat and soups. Here, bread wasn't just extra. It was the main part, thick, strong flats you ate on, then ate up. Made from old grains, baked thick to soak up liquids, trencher bread was your own plate. It took in the meal's story, drops of gravy, sauce spills, herb smells. When the party ended, that soaked piece was a treat, eaten by you or given to poor people at the door, so nothing was wasted. But look deeper at how it lasted, and you'll see smart ideas from need. These trenchers came from old dough or grains too old for normal bread, turning trash into table stars. Made flat on purpose, barely risen, baked long at medium heat, they didn't spoil. Little water, strong shaping, the result. Bread that sat out for days, holding hot food without breaking, taste getting better from the juices. Imagine the lord at the head table, stacking deer meat on his trencher. The bread got richer with each dish, like a quiet teller of the night's fun. For today's outdoor people or cooks over open fires, this story gives an idea. Plates that don't need washing, leftovers that feed people not dirt, bread from forgotten stuff. From old records of 1300s English houses, they baked hundreds of trenchers, stored for weeks without cold. When modern history fans remake them, they last over a month at room temperature. Compare to our quick sandwich bread that molds in 5 days, even with extras. Wanna try? Take old dough, shape it wide and thick, bake slow, great for parties where cleaning is forgotten. Third story, twice-baked ship's bread, the forever traveler that beat the ocean's anger. The noisy decks of an old ship, waves hitting like mad giants as sailors hold ropes under dark skies. Their enemy? Not only storms, but rot that hid in wet, bug-filled storage. How to make bread last months on rough seas without covers or magic. Here's the twice-baked story, maybe the longest-lasting food in history. It started simple, dough from wheat or barley, with little water to make it hard like wood. Shaped into small cakes or thick biscuits, baked once fully. Then the key part, cool it down, bake again at low heat for hours, sometimes 3 times, getting rid of all water. What came out was like rock, but lasted forever. Stories from Venice and Genoa records say ship's bread lasted over a year. Portuguese explorers ate bread baked before leaving, still good after 6 months and hot trips. The secret? Seeing water as the bad guy. Every bug, mold, rot needs it. Remove it all, and bread becomes endless. These sea experts knew in dry places, their bread could last longer than trips, even longer than tough sailors, still good to eat. Picture an old captain giving out shares during storms, each biscuit like a lucky charm, dipped in beer or soup to make it soft. For today's food stores, planning for no power without fancy machines, this story calls. Bread that lasts ages, not days. Needs only time and fire. To eat, dip and drink. Get soft, takes flavors, becomes a meal. No waste, no give up, just strong dough. Add to your story. Put herbs in before first bake for taste trips, good for hikes or stores for hard times. Fourth part, rye-and-honey healing bread, the home story that fixed from inside. Walk into quiet rooms of an old monastery, where sick beds have flickering candles, and air buzzes with prayers and herb smells. Here was bread not for empty stomachs, but for body fights, a cure mixed into grain. Rye and honey teamed up as main characters, things old doctors love for beating problems. Rye hid secrets now shown by curious people, stuff that calms swelling, helps the gut's weak balance. Honey, fresh and bright, kill bad germs while helping good ones. But the big story was their slow mix, a long tale over 3 to 5 days, where wild helpers broke rye's hard parts, making acids for keeping and easy eating. Honey added last, its good parts safe from hot damage. From 1200s paper prayers come special stories. For bad stomachs, more honey with fennel. For hard breathing, loaves with thyme. For hurt people, thick bread to keep weak ones going. A 2015 book from Germany's Hohenheim experts looked at old mixes, finding the slow process made anti-swelling potions better than modern wheat for gut health. For people stuck with gut monsters where pills don't work, this story invites. These quiet makers created bread that fed life and helped heal. The slow rise calmed trouble causes. Honey gave steady energy without quick drops. Rye gave fiber strength in easy ways. Old Echo. Monks often paired it with herb drinks for stronger help. Try that when making for small sickness. Fifth story, acorn-and-chestnut forest bread, the wood whisper that stopped hunger's shadow. When fields died from bad sickness or war's damage, old people didn't give up in empty sheds. They went to old forests, where oaks and chestnuts waited quietly, their nuts a secret save against empty bellies. This bread, helper in hard times, is ignored now like junk, but what a trip it shares. Acorn knowledge needed old skills, almost gone. Raw nuts had bitter poison in lots. Shell them, grind rough, soak in fast rivers for days or weeks. Change water until bad taste gone, good parts win. Dried to powder, mixed with little grains at 30 to 70 parts. Chestnut part easier but exciting. Dry nuts, make flour for sweet thick bread like dreams, filling like shared secrets. Its starch made small supplies last like a singer's song. In Tuscany's old hills and Corsica's rocks, this way lasted to 1900s. Old people in 1970s fire stories said it was better for long work than grain's quick help. Today's books agree. Acorn powder full of proteins, good fats, rare minerals. Chestnut energy comes slow, avoiding white bread's tired feel. Alone or together, these tree stories give safe place. Food without farms, trucks, store rules. Knowledge for when things break. Listen carefully, wash acorns in home waterways. Mix with known flour for first tries. Sixth part, Ale-barm bread, the bubbly story of first rising fire. Before yeast in bags or mixes sleeping in jars, old bakers had a beer hero from the brew place mist. Ale-barm, the bubbly top taken from bubbling pots. Every small town made beer, creating barm as extra. Bakers, smart mixers, took it for bread that rose right, tasted like hidden stories, and lasted longer than wild ways. Not just quick fix. This barm mixed beer creatures with hop strong protection and barley's gifts. Time take, during beer's mad bubbles, 12 to 24 hours later, get the yeast foam. Mix with flour and water. Dough rises fast, ignoring slow wild waits. It's special. Hop's secret fight against mold, from pot to bread, giving extra time in wet places. 1500s English writings praise barm bread lasting a week, laughing at water that ruined others. Taste special, soft grain sounds from barley, hops plant hint, feel light but strong. For bakers tired of mixed changes, barm calls back. Beer makers throw away good stuff. Old people join beer and bread in no-waste ways. Town picture, bakes timed after beer days for best foam. Match your ways for old match. Seventh story, salt-preserved dough, the sleeping ghost that lasted seasons. This, dear hearer, might be the most magic for your own stories, but hidden in dark. Old experts avoided our daily feeding of starters. They salted good risen parts, putting them to sleep in salt for months, waking when needed. Take a good bit, salt it hard, hide in cool dark. Salt stop bad and too much rise, yeast resting. When time to bake, cut out, wash salt, mix new, rise comes quick. Monastery writings say this normal magic. Bakes twice a week, but dough line lasted. Some places kept same type for years, past the next baker, giving bread special taste. People who remake say rich worlds. Salt rest calls helpers to sweeten parts. Deep no fast wake and do. Make when calm, store, use when want. No daily care. But the big picture connecting stories? Old bakers saw bread as endless song, mixed with beer's tune, forest story, healing song, group's voice. Each way came from long times, left fast for factory tricks. We traded lasting for fast, real for wraps, strong for light and fake. Was their way better? Old records say yes in important ways. Will you make it new? If bread makes you want more, if old ways pull, subscribe to Food Prestige and embark on a journey through the forgotten flavors that shaped our world. We share lost meals every 2 weeks. Comment which story calls you first. I read every one. More than just mixing, it's taking back strong roots. Free from factories, shipping, rules on food. Old wise people knew, real bread goes beyond hard lists. It lives on stories, time, and respect for the work. That's what we bring back.